Hey, this is Mark with Dine Digital. Thanks for tuning in to The Dish. So glad to have you. If you don't know Dine Digital, we help restaurants with marketing services, and whether that be helping them on Google search or websites or Facebook advertising, that's kind of things we do. And especially right now, what we're doing is this interview show. And today we are super excited to have Brandon from Roberta's in New York City. And why don't we welcome him right now? How you doing?
Going live
There he
again?
is.
Going live for the
There he is.
second time? All right.
Yeah, we're 100% live all the time.
See, you look like you really are really good at this. You have like the pro headset and the like, the full thing.
Right, right. Well, I did a few of them up until now, but yeah, we're trying to get it done. And so we're glad to have Brandon on from Roberta's, and we're going to have a conversation about you guys and what you're up to and just get your story. So that's going to be exciting. So we're going to
I
jump
don't know
right
for
in.
who. Is it going to be exciting for you?
I'll always
All right.
love to hear new stories and meet new people. So that's the wrong question. Let me get my stuff together. We want to get to the very beginning of the story. So tell us about Roberta's and the history and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So 12 years now, I think. Yeah. Um, just tried to open a neighborhood pizzeria. It was, we got a lot of help from a lot of friends. And in the early days, it was really just a place where we could kind of a watering hole for an upcoming neighborhood. There wasn't a lot going on in Bushwick at the time, in that specific part of Bushwick. Um, so there was a lot of artists. There was kind of a lot of you know like youth culture happening in the neighborhood, and we were really just trying to bring everyone together. So in the early days, we just thought, what better way to kind of bring a community together than pizza? It's a
Mhm.
food where you kind of gotta all like reach into the middle, sharing. There's a lot of communal vibes going on. So that was kind of the beginning, and it just evolved. We grew into the spaces around us, and it just kind of evolved into what it was. We were always really like tied into parties and things like that. So uh, you know we caught a lot of momentum in the early days.
Very nice, very nice. So you guys are got a couple. Well, it looks like three places in the New York City area, and then also Culver City, California location. So how did that come about? You ended up heading out over there.
Um, well, we always just kind of saw California as being the next step. I'm originally from California,
Okay.
so it seemed like a kind of uh, obvious step for us. We both really, Carlo and I both really enjoyed California, so it was pretty easy. We just also there was LA was really starting to like kind of come together with their food scene, and I think when we decided to go to LA, it was kind of like, well, where else do we want to spend time? So I
Yeah.
think more than anything, it's just like work. It's going to be a lot of work to do, and there's going to be a lot of travel involved. So you kind of want to, start with when you grow outside of your original market, you want to like start with places that are going to be easy for you to kind of like travel to and all that stuff. So it is in the same location. So we refer to the whole thing as the compound in Bushwick. We have a takeout and delivery. The original Roberta is a large outdoor area, and through the outdoor area is Blanca. So it's there on the compound.
Nice, nice. And then I guess that's only something you can partake in as far as New York location.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So there's
And pre COVID.
yes. We're I know New York City is a different level than most of the country's dealing with, so I hope you guys are being able to handle that and get
Yeah,
from a
it's
better.
been pretty crazy out here, that's for sure. I think everyone's like starting to get to the point of like I think for a while it was like, yeah, just batten down the hatches and just do it. And I think you get starting to get a sense here that people are kind of feeling like they're ready to go.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot,
probably.
a lot of quarantine quitting happening.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. We're not built to stay inside the rest of our lives. Yeah, so back to the food. What's the thing on the menu that if someone's going to come from out of town and you're like, you got to try this? What is that thing?
Well, I mean, obviously, I send people straight to the pizza, right? The margarita pizza, I think, is like really the best example of what we do from a pizza standpoint. But we have a lot of we have seasonal dishes, so the menu changes quite often. So to say like we have this one thing that we always have is very difficult. But the vegetable section of our menu is always like super killer. It's always relevant to the season that we're in, and it has a lot of like really cool things. The other thing that people might not know is we have a killer hamburger too. We only serve it at lunchtime, so you know it's a little secret thing. So oftentimes it's not even on the menu, so that's
Oh,
a
interesting.
secret jam at Roberta's, both LA and Bushwick.
Right on. We're going to kind of move into, I'm going to show off your Instagram page and we'll look at some of the food. Typically, we'll do a show off your dish. I don't think you prepared anything in your house to show off.
I did not,
That's okay.
unless you want to watch cartoons with my children.
That's pretty exciting, maybe for another time, but we do want to be able to peep on your food as well. So I'm going to actually come off screen and
Yep.
then you can talk us through some of the things that I'll click on. All right.
All right. The Millennial Falcon, which used to be called the Millennium Falco, um, that is that is a beautiful pie. It is really just pork sausage, sliced onions, Parmesan Reggiano, and uh, Pilati and basil. Classic, very simple. Chili flakes too. That is Ricky Martin. Ooh, that looks like, yes. Did we see Ricky Martin? That is Richard Martin there. He's guest hosting our IGTV evening cocktail with our head bartender Jason Kraft called Stir Crazy. Uh, Ricky is there in spirit. That looks like the radish salad with arugula, I believe. Um, that one, if yeah, you could see me getting close. Yep, there we go. That looks like a bee sting, if my memory serves me correctly. That is sopressata, honey, chili oil, and mozzarella, pilati, and some basil. I see a birthday cake. That looks delicious. A sasso chicken I saw fly by. Yes, happy birthday, Ingrid. I wish I could tell you what was inside that cake. I'm sure something delicious. Yes, that is the sasso chicken, just a whole roasted sasso chicken um, from our buddy in Queens, Carlo. Beautiful chickens. This is just a simple oven roasted chicken.
Good stuff. It looks like some very delicious food that we can partake of. And by we, I mean people that live close enough to do it. I'm not.
Where are you?
I'm in Virginia Beach, actually. So
Virginia Beach.
it's a little bit of a
Well,
drive.
yeah, it's a little far, but it's a pretty close drive to the beach.
That is true. Yes. And we were just on the boardwalk yesterday with the moms celebrating the moms.
Well,
So,
that's nice. And
we,
happy Mother's Day to the moms.
yes, we wouldn't be here without them 100%.
I think that's a real true fact.
There's no getting around it.
There's no science that denies that.
Right. So when people come to New York City all the time and when they're coming to see you, what else would you have them go take a look at while they're in town?
Mm. like all of the New York City attractions. Um,
Something maybe
uh,
we wouldn't have already heard about.
yeah, like obviously, I'm not going to tell you to go to the Statue of Liberty, which in the 21 years that I've been here, have never been to the Statue of Liberty.
It's all
So
in the movies.
probably not something that I would recommend. I, I actually try to tell people to get outside of the city. There's a lot to see outside of the city that I don't think people are familiar with. If you go to the North Fork of Long Island, they have it's all vineyards and wine. It's wine country out there, and they have some like really great beaches. It's opposite of the Hamptons. So when you get out towards the end of the eastern part of Long Island, it splits into two forks, the North Fork and the South Fork. The South Fork is the Hamptons, which I'm sure most of you guys have heard of. Very shishi fancy place to go. Um, and then the other side of that is the North Fork, which is very much, a lot more blue collar kind of life out there, but a lot of farming and agriculture and vineyards. It's very super cool. And I think, to be able to drive 2 hours outside of New York City and kind of get that lifestyle is something that I don't think people often think of when they go to New York. So I think that's like a fun trip. Also, also like the New York city beaches too, Coney Island, Rockaway, and all that kind of stuff. I think are always fun if the weather is permitting. And I think looking into boroughs that you might not normally go, Queens. There's some really cool stuff to do in Flushing. As for like you can go adventure eating. A lot of the like some of the coolest Asian restaurants you could think of. Szechuan, Korean, all of that stuff that exists out in Flushing, Queens. So,
No,
try to get off the beaten path. Um, there's a lot more than just like Manhattan when you get here. Brooklyn has a lot of cool stuff that's happening. Queens, um, don't know too much about Staten Island, but I'm sure you can find something cool to do there. The
cool.
Bronx, Arthur Avenue out in the Bronx is super cool. Old Italian has some like of the coolest old like Italian delis and stuff like that. So, you know, those are the things that I would recommend.
Yeah, very good. I haven't spent a lot of time in New York City, but the one time that I was there for a little while was for a Korean wedding in Flushing. So it's, my
Ah, look
wife,
at you.
my wife is half Korean, so that was her side of the family, or that side of the family was having a wedding over there. So
Well, my wife is also from Flushing, Queens, so you know I like to represent when we can.
yes, there you go. You've been there and done that when it comes to starting a restaurant. So if someone were to ask you what's some wisdom you could impart, what would that look like?
I think the first thing you really need is persistence and a motor because it's like never ending. Really, I think the hardest parts of the restaurant business are just the kind of constant like firefighting that you do. There's always a problem when you're in the restaurant business. So most of the time you're just like trying to uh, you know douse the fire with water, as they say. And I think you got to also have passion if you really want it to be special and you're looking to open a restaurant for the right reasons, for something that's special to people, not just as like a lucrative endeavor for yourself or as a business venture. You're going to be more successful if there's a lot of passion. And I think it takes that passion and persistence to really like have a quality restaurant, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of craziness. And if you're not passionate about it, it'll just eat you up.
Sorry I didn't hit my mute fast enough.
No worries.
That was the mailman, and you know what happens
Yeah.
when the mailman comes.
Yep.
Dogs have
Yep.
to say something.
Well, hopefully he's okay.
Well, yeah, there was a barrier, as a wall, so we're okay. Everyone's safe. As far as the restaurant industry, if there's something that you could change about it, what would that look like?
Well, I think inevitably what's happening right now is going to change it, um, regardless of what I think. But I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I would change. I think that like the great thing about the restaurant industry is you can kind of go into it and do what you want. And I think there are probably some old set standards that people follow, but I don't think you have to. I think it's a great industry. It's a constantly evolving industry, and I think whatever you want it to be, excuse me, whatever you want it to be is what it could be, and you can go out there and probably make a go at it with any idea you think could work. So I don't know if there's much I would change. I think that it's a very adaptive you know business. So if you have the stomach for it, you can go out there and kind of do whatever you like with it.
That's what I like to hear. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you love the most about it?
I really like that the constant kind of problem solving. And I think, like I said, every day is a new problem that you're trying to figure out, and I think that trying to be innovative and try to solve problems uniquely, is something that's like really grown on me over the years, and it's part of the job that I really actually truly enjoy, which is like trying to find new ways to connect with the customer and trying to find new ways to get items out there, and trying to have find new ways to kind of like um, speak your passion through the medium that's the restaurant business. And I think that's like really the most fulfilling part of it too, is just um, making that connection with people.
Good stuff. You briefly talked about it a little bit when we first jumped on before we were live, but give us a little bit about your community work that you guys have been involved with during this particular COVID-19 time.
Yeah, the first thing was we really were just trying to get first responders fed, and I think um, more than just like getting them fed. I think that they needed like some levity, and they needed like moments of breaks that didn't involve like seeing all the trauma and kind of all the craziness. So I think like just being able to deliver pizzas to the hospitals and stuff like that, where people kind of just got a break from their regular grind. And just seeing kind of the tragedy and everything that's been happening, that was very impactful. We had a lot of Lexus, some partners of ours that like really pitched in to help us like get a lot of these products out. We did some fire stations, some school work, and quite a bit of hospital stuff. So that was really fulfilling. It was nice to be able to like see some of those videos of how happy people were when they got when they got their pizza party.
Love it. It's great to see when tough times happen that there's lots of good people that step up and do their part. So thank you for that. And I know they all appreciated it, just like you said. All right. So let me hear about a pro tip, which could be how to make a good pizza. What do you got for us?
All right. Here this is just general cooking for me. I am a high heat guy. So so ovens or pizzas at home, all that kind of stuff, I'm pretty much just cranking that oven as hot as it goes. It's the same with a lot of my protein cooking that I do as well, like get the skillet as hot as possible. So like anytime you're making even directions for frozen pizzas, a lot of time I just disregard. I'm going super high heat, short amount of time.
Okay. Interesting. We'll have to try that.
I don't know if it works with like a French bread, Stouffer's French bread, but it's probably worth a shot.
All right, now you guys actually sell frozen pizzas, right?
We
So
do, we do, yeah.
let's look at that while we're talking about high heat, and I'm gonna jump this on real quick.
So that's the baby Sinclair. That is dinosaur kale and Parmesan, garlic, and Calabrian chili. And we have another frozen pizza, just a simple margarita. So you can find these. We carry these pretty much the whole East Coast, from Pennsylvania all the way to Georgia to Tennessee. So um, mostly Whole Foods, and if you're in the tri-state area, you can find them at most grocery stores. So hopefully soon we can get this thing out nationwide. I don't know if they have them at Whole Foods in Virginia Beach, but I know our distributor goes there.
Uh, I want you to be the focus. There you go. Yes, we do have Whole Foods up in this piece, and so yeah, we'll have to take a look and see if they're around. For
Yeah,
sure, that'd be fun. We have a lot of different grocery stores. Probably not as many as New York City, but for the size of the town we have, we got every different type of grocery, it seems, that you can get. Very good. So thanks for the pro tip. Like I said, that's going to be something we'll have to give a whirl on the next frozen pizza try. Okay, so I wanted to let everybody know about our socials. So this is important, not only during this time where everything is kind of online as it is, but even moving forward, continue to watch out for what's going on with Roberta's Pizza. And so you got their Instagram, which is Roberta's Pizza, and their website, same thing, but just to add the .com at the end. And while you're online and clicking around, watching those guys do what they do, also follow us, dine.digital. And so, yeah, we're really glad that you were able to work out the kinks and get online with us today. Brandon, is there any final thoughts you have for
no, but I've learned so much in this quest. I learned how to change my password on Facebook, and all types of new technical things that I probably wouldn't have figured out without you. So thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad to be of help on some level during this time. So, yeah, definitely do all the following, people. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, big props to Roberta's for being a part of the dish today. You never told us, where did the name come from?
Roberta was one of our original partner, Chris's mother's name.
Okay. Well, Mother's Day. So there you go. We're
Mother's
bringing it
Day
all back
to
to moms.
to all the moms.
Yeah. All right, Brandon. Thank you so much. And for everybody out there, like I said, follow, share, like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do online, and support your local restaurants like Roberta's. And tune in next time. We'll be talking with more great restaurants and great people. All right. We'll see y'all.